Guys, this is just a quick reflection. It's not quick at all, actually. It's like an hour and 10 minutes. The biggest part of this is for us to talk about what our end goal is, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it. It's, I try to bring it up with a lot of examples. Like, what if we got a brand deal? What if we get a bunch of followers? What if somebody offers us this? What if this happens? And we kind of get a little caught up in those, but it's just my fault in not articulating it properly. But the point of what I'm trying to get to is if our goal is here, right, and this is what we want. It could be we want, I don't know, 10,000 followers, or we want to make a certain amount of money, or whatever. Whatever this is, it's useful to think about what that is. So when all these other things happen over here, right? Like we get someone offers us a brand deal, someone wants a collab, someone wants to offer us this, offer that, opportunities here, opportunities there. If we know what this is, then these become easier to navigate. Does this brand deal bring us closer to that? Does this collaboration bring us closer to that? Does this offer bring us closer to that? Right? But if we don't know what this is, navigating this brand deal, this offer, this whatever, is a lot more difficult because we don't know where we're going. Right? We don't know if this is in the right direction or the wrong direction. What counts as us winning, right? Like what counts as us getting to here if we don't know what here is, right? So the most important part of this talk is trying to figure out what this is, and I'm not sure we kind of get there. Again, I didn't articulate it the best. It's kind of a hard question to ask, I think, because I don't think a lot of people think about that. But knowing what this is, I think, is the most important part of just life in general, right? Are you moving in the direction you want to be moving to, right? When you get a job offer, is that towards your happiness? Like, what did you want to work that job, or is that giving you enough money? Maybe you want enough money to do whatever you want to do. Maybe, maybe it's giving you more time to do what you want to do. Maybe that is the exact thing that you want to be doing. But like, what is this thing, right? Do you want more time? Do you want money? Do you want the thing you're doing? It's up to you, right? But it's to figure out what that is. So hopefully that's a good little intro as to what I'm trying to get at with this talk. We talk a lot about other things, but that's the most important part of this talk, I think.
My first question, do you have a half chub or a full chub under there?
No,
I have no chub under here.
No chub?
No chub.
Whoa.
No chub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zero chub.
Zero
Right.
chub.
Exist in no chub.
Let's make a trending Twitter hashtag no chub
Hashtag no chub.
for the week.
Okay.
Sorry, Kurt, you have
okay.
real questions.
Real questions?
What do you want out of life?
So I guess
It's not bad.
this is after Thanksgiving, just for context.
A lot of thanks to give.
Right now, just me, Sim, and Zach here at Sim's house.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't watching this on video.
Mm-hmm.
Then what are you doing?
Is there a lot of glare on us? Does
No.
lighting? No.
I feel like the light, this is perfect lighting, because shouldn't the light be coming from,
Behind the camera? At
Yeah.
us?
yeah,
Yeah.
Zach? Come on. Don't you learn that
I
with
was
your
I was
comic?
I was testing you,
Okay.
see if you knew.
But yeah,
properly.
no, a lot of the things with the podcast are like, the questions are kind of really similar. It's just that throughout like our progress is like our life changes and things happen, and like for example this past week or so I feel like we've been I don't want to say slacking because it's like we're just living life and like things come up,
Mm-hmm.
but we haven't been filming and doing as much. Like we missed a couple days with the ads or the posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
I
haven't-
was there. That was me.
Yeah, no, me too. I felt more slackish this week too.
I posted.
Zach
Yeah,
learned.
Zach picked
I
up.
did. I learned this week and I posted 3.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, just I mean like I think kind of like, so the reason why Brad isn't here is because his is that sister-in-law? Yeah, his sister-in-law
Is pregnant.
is pregnant. So, and they're doing a Thanksgiving thing
Wow.
tonight, so he has to help clean and all that stuff. Not saying that she would do all the cleaning or whatever, but Brad has to help extra.
You have to.
I don't know.
I like how he prefaced it.
Yeah.
That was great.
She's, but that okay. Those are his words.
It's
That's
not
what
like
he
they
said.
normally force her to clean.
Yeah.
And she
But-
just really likes it. I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? I've been to that house. It's not clean, so.
But yeah, no. But that's what he said. He's like, yeah, she's pregnant and I have to clean because they're doing Thanksgiving. That's what he said.
Okay.
So, it wasn't me.
Hey,
He said it.
that's fair.
No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
that's life. It comes
Yeah.
up.
But I think a lot of the reason why some of us like it comes in the context of just guys making videos, it's slacking because like content doesn't get made or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the context of our whole lives, it's like just things in life come up sometimes, and I think it's important to like be self-aware of that, like what is going on in your life and what do you need to focus on right now.
Yeah.
And then it's important for us to be transparent with each other. I think that's just my way, right? Rather than like, if we don't post something or somebody doesn't make a thing in time or whatever. We've talked about this. Like, let's say there's a video that needs to be made by a certain time and then it's not posted. It's nice to know why at least. So at least like I understand what's going on so my expectations are appropriate rather than us not knowing and then it's not done and then now we're kind of like, well, do I ask or like did something happen or like should we expect you to do it next week or like what's going on, right? But obviously this weekend I think we kind of knew that it was going to be a little slower. I'm not surprised that it was a little slow. Even me, I felt a little slow in the process of like moving out and then trying to get this other job. And then actually like my other buddy offered me this other job that's like from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. Monday to Friday, and then it's like pretty decent pay, but
What is it?
It's like a kitchen cabinet quality control. So I don't know exactly what the job entails because he just gave me like a 1-sentence description, which is like making sure all the parts are there and everything is okay, and then if it's not, you send it back or something. Yeah. So that was my 1-sentence summary of what the job is. So I don't know, but like
and it pays well.
It pays pretty good. It's like 20-25 or whatever.
Damn.
So it's like.
And 30. No,
so it's like 30 hours
a week.
Yeah, it's like 30 hours. So it's like.
Jeez.
Pretty solid. Like.
$600 a week.
Is that far?
Is that what that is? That's
20 times 30 is 600.
Yeah.
And then you tax, so like $450 to $500 a week.
But that's like at least like $2,200 a month. Yeah. Kind of like that's what I would need right now. That was my thing is like if I can just make $2,000 a month, I'm good. Like I don't need to do anything more with I can just leave the money thing. Whatever I'm doing with the money thing, if I'm making $2,000, I can just do everything else that I want to do. Yeah. Right. So I was thinking like that's a pretty good thing. Just that I have to quit all my other things. Like I wouldn't work at the gym, and then I wouldn't work at Under Armour anymore. Or
like can't you work like one shift at the gym?
I don't want to though. I don't want to work more than 30 hours. Okay. At all. You know what I mean? Like I could work at the gym and I could do my video editing there, but even then, I don't know. I don't know. It's just easier if I just didn't. Yeah. Because I don't need any more, right? Like, so I'm thinking about that. It's only if the job doesn't suck, right? So I don't know exactly what the job, right? If the job sucked ass, then it would just drain the rest of my life.
Have you started at Under Armour yet? Like, did you see?
No, like I called them back and then they didn't. They're like, oh yeah, we'll give you a call, and then I guess. But in the email list that they're like, oh, if you have any questions about scheduling, there's like a lot of people, so I think they just hired a lot of people, so they're just figuring out scheduling. Okay. Because there was like a good like 8 people there that the email was like, oh, if you have any questions about scheduling, because I guess these are all new hires. Yeah. So it's like 8 people.
That one store?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess yeah.
There's no like hide your emails or something.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I will say, I think if you CC people, you can see all the people that are CC.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I was
Princess 69.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm glad that my email has always been Kurt DC because it's like I never had to change it. It was never some weird like obscure like which I have some like usernames that are kind of neat that are not that aren't very professional.
420 MLG, please it.
Yeah. The Recip 3.
Yeah.
That's not very professional. But anyway, what I was getting at with all this is that. Again, like I was saying, just recognizing like where we are in life at that given moment, because we have to realize that like even over the course of like a week to even the year or whatever, like your priorities in your life is changing constantly. So that's why like when we do these podcasts or whatever, the questions are very similar, but the answers are going to be inevitably different just because we're at different points in our lives at any different time.
Like I'm moving the mic a bunch.
That's fine.
Okay. The pillows are hopefully not ruffling too loudly.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
But, like Zach right now, we talked about it, how like I think you're just on that grind to like pay off like student loans.
Yeah. I have a bit of student loan left, and I had a bit of credit card debt that I was paying off, and it'll be paid off pretty soon. It's just
because like one thing we were talking about is like focusing on like what's the most important thing to get done first, right? Because you and I were talking about like school and like moving out, and like this guy's making video stuff and all these things that you're trying to juggle. But it's like, okay, what is the first, like what's the realistically the most practical first thing to take care of first, right? It's like probably take care of your debt,
exactly,
right? Like let's just don't worry about moving out, don't worry about whatever. Just take care of the debt. We'll start with that.
That's the current point.
Yeah, and then just focus on that, right? And then the next thing, okay, what's the next thing, right? Because it's like me, like I think everybody's like this sometimes, right? It's like it's easy to get overwhelmed. With like, but I want it to be creative and like, but I want to move out and I want, like
you want it like now, instead.
Yeah, exactly.
All of it is in steps.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, part of the reason why we're doing this too is to like, reset where we're going with this. Too, like, or just I guess like remind us, I guess like what we want on this, or if anything's changed. I guess like for example, for me, if I'm taking this job and whatever. Hopefully, I don't see like I don't know the hours that I get after if I get off at 12. I could even take a nap still and still have a lot of time.
Well, you take a nap for like 2-3 hours, wake up and you have the rest of the day till like 11, 12.
Yeah.
Right.
So I imagine I would still have a lot of energy, but I think I would inevitably have less energy than I have now because that's still more work. Because I assume the job is more than. And whatever job I take besides the gym is more work than.
And plus, it's just being at work, whatever you're doing. It's just the fact that you're at work like weighs on your mind.
Yeah,
like, it fucks with you for like however many hours you're there, kind of thing, right? Whereas like if you're at home doing like if I'm at work on my phone versus when I'm at home on my phone, it's just like two different things, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm doing the same thing, but it's just like because I'm working, it's like fuck.
You're running that work program, which like takes up the like processing power.
Whereas like here, I do the same thing. I'm literally on my phone sitting here, but it's like it feels so much more freeing.
Yeah,
it's like I'm at home. Like
I don't have. It's that weird thing me and Sai talked about. So it's that weird thing. It's like you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to, I could go. I don't know, do whatever I want. Like drive to the beach and whatever. Like I'm not going to. Like I didn't. Like it's like living in Vancouver, right? That's what we were talking about. It's like I like living in Vancouver because I know I could go snowboarding and I could go to the beach.
Yeah.
And I could, but like I didn't do any of those things really at all last year. But I could. Because like because you're talking about moving to, so this guy was like saying, oh, if we moved to Edmonton, he'd start us off at like whatever, like 30K or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, but like I don't know if I moved to like Edmonton or like I think it was like Winnipeg was the other one or something like that. And it's just like even if I wasn't gonna go to the beach or go snowboarding, the fact that you're there and you just can't is like a weird mental thing.
It is, yeah.
Right.
You can go to the
also,
mall.
30K.
Yeah, but then it's just the fact that you're like it's Winnipeg. Though. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. Going forward with guys making videos, like I've said with the vlog and stuff, is that I think documenting more about our lives in general, I think is like a really good strategy, because it's that weird spiral that Zach and I talked about. Is that you know the people, and that's what we're finding with our friends is like us. So watching our content is kind of interesting, because you kind of know us. Like even like from like there's some guys I met at training, so these are kind of like new friends that I've met at training, and they're like, oh, like one guy was like, oh, you went to PAX the other day? I'm like, oh, how'd you know? And he's like, oh, I just watched I've seen you guys talk about Seattle or whatever on your Instagram, all the posts you guys make. And then we just started talking about like PAX and Comic-Con and stuff like that. But it's because he knows me through this lens. Like he doesn't know me because we're not best friends, but he knows me through the lens of training. And it's interesting to see the depth of who I am outside of that. Yeah. Right? So it's like they get to know you, so then your content's interesting. And then your content's interesting because they get to know you. And then it's just this spiral. It's like Funhouse, right? It's like you feel like you know them, so you'll watch them do stuff. And then you watch them do stuff and you know them better because you watch them more. Right? So I think for us, like, inevitably the behind the scenes documenting whatever, there's going to be more of that than the like fully edited, fully produced type of content, right? Like there's going to be more of us just being like living our lives. And I think having that is like, I don't know, I just think it's like a really good strategy. You know what I mean? As long as I think we all agree that we all want to make those fully produced things. That's like the goal. That's like our love for creating things, is to make those fully produced, like a, I don't know, like Front Desk is like, scripted,
Yeah.
and well shot, and our most produced thing. Same with Seeing
Even
Double.
Seeing Doubles, produced.
Yeah, there's like a lot of editing.
Some structure to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, a lot of it is just the editing,
Yeah.
right? It's like there's a
Yeah.
lot of like planned, like intentional art,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Whereas this is almost the opposite. It's just like, well, whatever happens. And that's what I'm seeing the vlog as. It's just whatever happens in our lives is just the content in it, like natural. Like today, if we just decide to not do anything, that'll just be the vlog for the days. We just decided, what did we do today? Oh, we just played Zelda.
We
and
did
just
nothing.
chilled. Yeah,
Yeah.
just whatever, right? So I think I don't know. I think it's just interesting to see like what our lives are, like what our process is, and what happens in our lives. So I don't know. But again, I've said this a bunch of times, but it's always good to repeat because not always everybody watches everything that we put out. But I am really proud of how far we've come in terms of being like transparent-ish, I guess, or being comfortable being recorded and stuff like that. Because I don't know if you guys remember like what it felt like before, but I remember like even me, it was still a little bit like as soon as something's recording, like I still felt a little bit like, okay, we're on, it's kind of weird, it's a little awkward,
Yeah.
right? But I've noticed like everybody's much more comfortable, like we get in,
I remember when we filmed, like, the first Seeing Double was like one of the first times I met Brat. Like maybe the second time I ever met Brat.
What was the first Seeing Double?
We played Call of Duty.
If you watch the vlog just now,
Yeah.
I put a little clip
So
in.
like I remember like I'm meeting a bunch of new people. I met Baines that night, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck?" And now I gotta sit down and make jokes with these people. Like, obviously it's a little awkward, and like being on camera all of a sudden, it's like I wanted to do this, but like this is weird. Like I can tell like those first few Seeing
Alcohol.
Doubles, like I'm awkward, like compared to how I am now, where I'm just like yelling and shit,
Yeah.
talking too much.
It's something really weird about
It
as
is.
soon as something turns on as a recording or
Yeah.
whatever, it feels like it's permanent.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's like whatever you do is recorded, everybody's watching.
And
right?
and then like vlogging kind of stuff, that process when we started to kind of go into that, like just whipping out our phones and just turning it on and filming each other like as we're talking.
Mhm.
That used to like kind of like shift the conversation all of a sudden. Like you're just like, oh hi,
It
hey.
still does sometimes.
It
right?
does
Like
occasionally,
Brad
but
and Saudi, or like Brad
yeah.
especially turns it into Seeing Double right away.
Yeah.
He's much better now. He's way better now. But it's,
Yeah.
when he first did it, he'd just be like, "Oh,
I mean-
welcome back from the commercial." Like it'd be like a totally normal like. This type of
I think
conversation.
I'm definitely guilty of it too at times.
Yeah,
for sure,
right. It'd be
but-
like this kind of conversation. Then as soon as you turn the camera on, it'd be like, "Oh, no, welcome back.
Yeah.
Jokes.
And now-
lots of jokes."
I can see it starting to get more like comfortable. It's just like I just continue talking and whatever.
You actually do a pretty
comfortable.
good job when you do face the cam, like just front cam.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Zach's pretty good at
All right. Front face the cam.
that.
No.
Um,
Yeah, I think we're getting more comfortable. I agree.
Yeah,
Um,
I think so too.
and being upfront and
And yeah, I think that
authentic.
I don't know. I guess I really I don't know. It's like if Funhouse had a vlog,
They do sometimes.
do they?
Yeah, but like
Okay.
it's for first members or whatever. But
Oh really?
Yeah.
But I don't know, or even just like a vlog outside of like their work too, just to see what they do. I don't know. It's just weird little things like I don't know. Eat Your Kimchi. I told you about them.
Yeah.
Like, so Eat Your Kimchi, for you guys who don't know, is they're these two English teachers that went to Korea to teach English, and then they just started making content on like what it's like to live in Korea, and then eventually they just got lots of like a big following to the point where people love them as a couple. Like they're just
Yeah.
really entertaining and they're always good vibes. And then they made like a couple videos on like their favorite video games and favorite anime, and like that just deepened my relationship with them. Because I'm like, oh, you guys are already cool and whatever, and then you guys also like anime and play video games, and then they just straight nerded out
yeah.
on like that type of stuff. So I think again, like it's like that guy at training, right? It's like we have this bond training, but it deepens our relationship more that he knows that I'm also like a nerd. Like I go to
Yeah.
PAX and like he went to Comic-Con. He said he would. So that's the other thing. When you go to PAX next time, we should go to the Twitch party after, or not Twitch party. Go to the after parties. He said it was like, I forgot. It's like you need the
Can you-
badge.
Yeah. I was
And
like, how do
then-
you get in?
You need the badge or whatever, and then you can go. He said he went the one year that Twitch had a party,
Yeah.
at the Twitch party, and then there's
You
whatever.
had to
but-
be invited. Like you need like an exhibitor's badge. Not like
Yeah, I
That's
think
what I thought.
that one you did, but I think he's saying that there's after parties in general. I have no idea.
Oh,
This is
okay.
this is what I was gathering from what he was
I
telling
just
me.
assumed those are like orgies in hotel rooms or whatever. Like those are
PAX
separate.
orgies.
PAX orgies. Like, yeah, all the furries get together and they go.
All the furries.
And
And they go live on Twitch.
Yeah.
So
They stream it.
my free cams.
I mean, I'm down. Let's go. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I'm just gonna go to the after party. I'm probably not gonna go to the PAX part of it.
Yeah.
Just gonna go to the end. Like
Yeah,
I'll meet you guys at
So
about
you're gonna
6
go
to 7
buy
o'clock.
the badge?
I'm gonna go out, buy the badge. I'll meet you guys at about 6 p.m. and then we'll head out to an after party.
You don't want to go to PAX again, huh?
I think I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've
Oh, but
Honestly,
you haven't
I'm-
seen it
I'm
with
like
the
a-
Rooster Teeth booth yet.
Yeah, but like I don't. It doesn't matter. to
With
me
like a
anymore.
Rooster Teeth there.
Yeah.
you know,
It's
like-
I'm more of like I've realized this about myself when
I
I
see
go
what
to
you mean.
places and things. It's like I've seen it now. Like I don't need to.
Really?
Even if I have a great experience, it's
So
like
if we said, hey, we're going back to Japan, would you?
I don't think I would.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I really don't think. Not that I hate. Like Japan was awesome. It was great, but it's just like I've been there.
But like, but you're going with us though.
I know, but
You wouldn't go with us?
I don't know.
You don't want
Maybe
to go with us anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
It's like, but it's like Japan, and you're with us.
I see what you mean. Like, well, with something like PAX, like, yeah, you see it once, you pretty much have seen it. Like, there's new games. But
Yeah,
like,
it's the same booth.
all the big
but-
games, I'm not waiting the 2 hours to try it for 15 minutes. That
So there's nothing.
Like-
There's no place that's like Chipotle for you because you'll go to Chipotle every day. No, every meal doesn't matter.
yeah. What's
But
your
there's no-
Ibiza?
But Chipotle is quick and easy. Chipotle is like you get there, it's 20 minutes of eating.
So like
done.
Kelowna.
Like
go to Burnaby.
I don't know. I guess like maybe if time passes, then yeah, it's still Japan feels recent in my mind. It still feels like we went there like last, even though it's like it was last year.
I went there like 2 years in a row, and that
Yeah.
was
I think
Like-
you also travel for different reasons too.
Yeah,
Like, you-
I travel to
vacation.
party, like
Yeah.
like relax and stuff like that. And like
Yeah.
if we go to Japan and we go to more temples, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill myself. Like
We
it was.
didn't go to that many
We
temples.
didn't
And
actually.
to me, that was a lot. We went to like 2
Wow.
temples, but we were walking around
But
everywhere.
we went
Oh.
to like quite a few actually.
Yeah.
But I think we could go and do a different type of trip where we just go like when Monday was talking about that brewery, where you can just go like free beer or whatever.
Like that would be cool. I'm
Like just that.
that
type
to
of
me
stuff.
sounds exciting.
Or like go like bar hopping. Like remember there's that alley of like little mini bars.
Oh yeah.
They're like so they're literally like the size of your bed, and you're gonna like
Yeah.
there's like and there's just a bunch of them.
Mini restaurant.
There's this little
Oh,
alleyway.
Yeah.
It was like really cool, but we
Yeah.
didn't go in or whatever. But
Where's that, Shinjuku?
oh, we went to that one. We went to the one
Yeah.
German
Yeah, we went to
bar.
a German bar.
because we were
Talked to,
following
like-
these chicks.
Yeah. We talked to this lady that worked at like the embassy for.
I thought she did, and then they all
The
yeah.
others they knew or something.
They were just like random
It was
foreigners.
random. No.
Like one was like a Indian guy, and one was like she was like
One was like an Irish guy, an Indian guy, and I think this woman was from Nigeria.
they met each other there, or they knew
They
each
all
other.
knew each other.
somehow they were all friends. I don't know
Japan. And then the bartender co-owned this German bar with this white guy. And I was just like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I'm at a German bar, having German beer, the Japanese guy made for me, talking to people from like all around the world. I was like, I don't know.
how. Yeah, but that was cool though. I'll remember that.
Yeah.
I always remember.
I'll,
Yeah, I don't think I'm a long term vacation guy unless it's like sitting around doing nothing kind of thing.
Well, you're almost at like resort
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
vacation,
Yeah.
but
I'm
you,
very like whitewashed in that way. Like I
don't think it's whitewash. I think it's you work a lot. Like you put things in boxes, like we were talking
Yeah.
about, right? It's like this is work, and then this is just chill, like vacation.
Yeah.
It's like different, right? You're not.
no, you're whitewashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me though.
Yellow washed.
What's something white
Japan?
on the outside and yellow on the inside?
You're yellow on the inside because
You're an egg.
I'm not yellow on the inside. But
You're white
oh,
on the
I'm an egg.
You're
I'm
an
an
wash?
egg.
Egg wash?
Egg wash.
Yeah, fucking fuck dandruff. Use the egg wash on the hair. But, feel good again.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that something that you guys are like? I don't want to say interested, but does that make sense to you guys going forward, like doing more transparent stuff? Because that inevitably lets us post more. Like I
I
said
think
that in
we've
the
been
last
doing
one.
that.
Yeah, and it
haven't
makes
we?
it easier because
It does make it easier.
It's like this, right? It's
Yeah.
like whatever we want to talk about is just what we want to talk
Yeah.
about, right?
It's
Like
just there.
yeah,
I still would really love to do like a podcast, like where it's just like an hour and we just shoot the shit and we go like, what did you do this week? Or like, what's the cool thing that's in the news right now?
We can do that.
Yeah.
Like it's not very hard.
No,
if,
it's
if
not.
we actually meet up every week, we can
It's
do
like
that for like half
big
an hour.
Mega 64
but that's
podcast
that's the thing
style.
though.
It's like we have to meet up and
We
do
do,
it.
we have
But,
to
like,
meet up.
Once we do it, it's just do for half an hour and then we're done. Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
half an hour's worth of
Yeah.
stuff that we put
Or
on.
we'd be like, oh, Red Dead Redemption 2's coming out. Did you guys play it? Blah, blah.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, I saw this movie this week.
Mm.
What do you
But I think we should. There's always the like the steak and the side dishes kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
everybody has that
Yeah.
type of. Like there's the main thing that you guys are really working on. Like for us, it's Front Desk, Seeing Devil, vlog. I guess now those are like our main, like our core pillar content,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it
It's just like
is like ancillary, or is that the right word?
ancillary, yeah.
Auxiliary.
Auxiliary. The rest of it is auxiliary cable to our
Ancillary and
to our
yeah.
headphone jack.
Yeah.
But as long as we're like getting that stuff done, then it's okay to like do the other. You know what I mean? Because it's like what you were saying is like we make too much behind the scenes stuff that we don't make any actual stuff.
Yeah.
Which is like I don't. That's actually not a big deal to me, but
Mhm.
like as a conceptually,
Yeah.
but personally, like my personal like thing is I would love to
Yeah.
make like a movie or like Front
I
Desk
just-
like a series.
My
like, you know.
old argument was just like this is all important. Like you said, we should do reflections and all that because it gets us reset and it's good to talk and get on the same basis. But like, there was a point where we were talking so much about being motivated that we weren't being motivated. You know what I mean? Like I did not necessarily.
I know what you mean.
We were. We didn't stop doing Seeing
Like,
Double.
remember that
all
time
those
we
things, but,
kept making that joke that we wouldn't stop making that joke, that we said we would stop making
like,
that joke.
Yeah.
Which joke? I think I blacked it out.
Uh,
Well, don't tell me.
I'll,
So I don't wanna hear
always-
him.
Okay.
I'll always make that joke on a Thursday.
Oh,
I did. I broke the seal.
Yes.
No. I don't think we're like overly guilty of it. I just remember there was a point where we were just starting to do reflections more so, I guess, and stuff, and it was important, and we were like in a weird point in our YouTube channel. I think it was pretty fresh.
But I also think that like documenting that part of like
Yeah, it's important.
uncertainty is like it's important because it's like like let's say let's say we decided we didn't want to do Front Desk anymore and there was
Yeah.
like a gap between that and the next thing we do.
Yeah.
We might feel like that at first, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're just making reflections, talking about nothing because we're not making anything technically.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would like to see that
No,
part
exactly.
in the future. Where it's like,
Yeah.
well, how did they make that decision to stop Front Desk, and what were they doing in the meantime?
Yeah.
And then how did they suddenly decide to make the new thing? Like, how did they? Where's that transition point?
Yeah.
We're
So-
not stopping Front Desk right now, just so you know.
Not yet.
That was an example. Not yet.
Um,
We'll let it die for 10 years and we'll come back and then we'll be like, yeah.
We'll reboot it.
Yeah.
With younger versions of ourselves.
New cast.
all 10 of our viewers.
Yeah.
But I was like, I didn't read the book, but I was listening to this guy that was on Gary's podcast that wrote this book. I forgot his name. I feel so bad. Scott or something. Bad or something.
Scott.
But anyway, the book.
That sounds familiar.
The book is Scott. Scott. That sounds familiar.
Scott, yeah.
The book is called The
Scott
Messy
Summers. Cyclops.
Middle. The book is called The Messy Middle, and his whole thing is like, you know, when you ask someone who's successful their story, you hear the beginning, like I grew up in blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I had this idea, and then blah, 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 and then I made it. Kind of like, you know, there's not a lot. It's kind of like, well, what about that part? Like, what about the blah 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 part? Like, what were all the things? Like, there was that like good 10-year gap between like I was born, I had this idea, and then now 10 years later, now you're here. Like, what happened in the middle?
Yeah.
And he showed this graph that was kind of like, you think that like it looks like this is kind of like, oh, I have this idea, and then it's kind of like that, like you kind of
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like slowly.
or something.
increase
No,
it.
he thought it was like this, but it's
Oh.
more like this kind of like wreck. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And like I think all like successful people always talk about that, right? Like Steve Jobs dropped out of college and blah blah blah, bounced around. He lost his company, came back. You know, like all the
Yeah.
things are
Yeah.
just very messy. And I think that's the most like important and like valuable, I guess, part of that success to like hear about. 'Cause it's interesting, right, to hear the journey of like all the ups and downs and all the, I don't know, losses and wins, and you know what I mean. So I think that's part of what this is too, right? So even when we do make transitions in and out of different content and whatever, it's good to like keep that documentation going.
Mhm.
But like the artist in me is fully like what you are, like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Is like I really do want to make like a piece of content that's like
That
what we
resonates.
like what we decide, like it's because our expectations of what real content means, like what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
So we think real content is we came from movies and TV shows like a Netflix show is kind of like a TV show from original TV.
Yeah.
And movies are always like film, right? So that's our standard
Mm-hmm.
for like true art. Whereas like I think we have to realize too that art that definition is changing. Like on YouTube, there's so many types of video forms that just never existed before that we don't even have names for even,
Yeah.
right? Because like a vlog encompasses like someone just sitting there talking to the camera,
Yeah.
but it also encompasses someone not even talking to the camera and just showing what they do throughout their day. Like there's all these or like reviewing a video game on your camera, like you're just talking to the camera reviewing a video game. Then there's podcasts. There's just so much content that I would argue still counts as like real content. Like today, it counts as real content now. Like that is real stuff, right? Like I don't know, like Netflix. I was watching this show last night that Netflix made, and it was just so dumb. But this is part of it now because they can do it, right? So it's about this high school. This kid drew dicks on all the cars. It's called Vandal.
American.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard of
I only
it.
watched the first like half an hour, and I'm like, I thought they were joking. Like I thought it was gonna quickly turn into something more.
It's a mockumentary though, right?
But it wasn't even funny. Like to me, like it wasn't even like, oh ha ha. I get it's a mockumentary.
Yeah.
I get it, but it didn't interest me at all. Like I feel like it's almost like, but like Spinal Tap, I got like as a mockumentary that was really funny to me.
Yeah.
But like this was like there's not even. It's not, I don't know. It just there's nothing there for me.
Yeah.
But the point is like that type of content I feel like wouldn't have been able to be like made because it's just you know what I mean. Like only in today's world where content the definition of it is so flexible that they could have made that show and like people would actually.
And everything's so accessible, so it's like you can really make whatever you want and put it up there and see how it goes.
And I think that like if you actually feel like it's something that people would be interested in, like the chances are there's like. People would be,
and there are like that series. Like you didn't like it. I didn't watch it at all, but I looked up into it and it got like good reviews. Like people liked it, right? But it's like you'll find a niche that will like whatever you do because it's like
the internet's so pervasive.
so big and
yeah, like especially like Reddit and stuff like that. Like think about all the subreddit like little threads there are, like all the small little Reddit threads. Everything's so niche. So I just feel like that's why like us making this just content is so like. I don't know. It's crazy that we can just kind of do this, and you know that somebody's going to be interested. And we already seen like we've had feedback from people that are interested already, right?
We've also brought up the fact that different people like the different aspects of what we do. Like one person likes front desk, one person likes our reflections or podcasts, or when we're
it surprised me. Gary, that guy from Sadi's party, he only watched front desk.
I thought you watched all of our stuff.
No, he said he only watched front desk.
Why are you not watching all of our stuff?
But it's interesting how like people are really interested into specific types of our content, like the different facets.
Some people like seeing double the most, you know. So.
Which is why the targeted ads are a good idea.
Yeah.
So tell us about the target. Did you already talk about the targeted ads?
We'll talk about it again. People don't watch. Some people only watch reflections. No. But yeah, no. I mean, seeing doubles or let's play where we play games and we try to drink and get drunk and play games would be funny. So I think if we made an ad for that series or an ad that involved like a clip from that series and use it as an ad, we would target that to like the Funhouse, Achievement Hunter, Let's Play, Twitch type of audience.
Fortnite.
The Fortnite audience. That's why I was telling you gotta play more Fortnite, guys.
Yeah.
We gotta.
Yeah, we're not. We're behind on our Fortnite.
We gotta play some Fortnite, and then even like so, if we had a ad that was clipped from a Reflections podcast, something like this, I think that would help a lot of people, that are kind of like in the same area that we're in life, where they're trying to figure out who they are or what they're trying to do. Like and it's funny because it's not like different people. It's more about the states of mind that they're in. Like if I want to just sit and turn my brain off and watch jokes and watch some gameplay, I'll put Funhouse on or Seeing Double, hopefully for us, right? But sometimes I'm looking for something, like I'm looking for answers or something, and I'd watch maybe Reflections because it'd be interesting to see how someone else's thought process is going while they're dealing with the same problems. And then sometimes I just want to scroll through Instagram and look at 9gag stuff, which is where Sadi and Brad's little quick memes come in, like their beatbox karaoke stuff or whatever. Like it's not, but it's funny because it's not like specific people necessarily. It's who they are at that second and the mindset that they're in. Like what are they looking for?
Yeah.
So I think making ads targeted based on those is more effective than just making one ad and trying to broadcast it to everybody. Because you can go deeper, right? Like if someone catches like a full conversation like this that's very in depth, and it's gonna hit them much harder.
Yeah.
Right? Or you get a full seeing double joke where you get to see the build up of the joke and the full punchline where someone knocks it out of the park. It's like, oh man, right? Like, you get more there rather than just a very small snippet in a whole trailer, which I still like the trailer that I made, the teaser or whatever.
Yeah.
But that one might be less effective depth wise in trying to like, what's up?
We're just all have our left hands on our face.
Yes.
And I was like, okay.
It's one of those days.
But yeah.
You mirror the people that you like, you know what? What's an actual
You reflect the circle with.
flattery, something.
But we're a triangle.
Flattery, something?
Sincerest form of flattery is imitation or whatever.
Imitation? Oh,
Imitation, yeah.
Imitation crab? I don't know why when I hear imitation I always think imitation crab in California.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't know if this is interesting to people, but Sim and I only ran that one ad for a month, and we spent 140 Canadian on it, so it was a kind of 107 USD on it. And then
ran that fucking ad. Okay, sorry.
That Facebook ad, and then so then it reached 22,000 people, I think, and then
only 3 of them responded.
22,000 people, and then what did we target? It was pretty like broad target based because I tried to encompass everything.
Yeah.
But obviously the strategy going forward with these targeted ads is we'd narrow down on like a smaller targeting whatever, like the hashtags or the demographics we choose or be more specific. But yeah. With Front Desk, I think it's because I always think about like where we are because that's the one thing that we have like a timeline for, or we would like to. I think we filmed half of season 2 or a little bit more.
We'll have to figure that out today. But like the parts that we have left to film are going to be the hardest to film because they take the most people.
We literally have the hardest episodes left.
Yeah.
Because
so that's what we should do today.
Is it a 2-parter? Is that so?
No,
it's one part, but
it's a big episode.
Yeah.
And I feel like it won't be as big as we think. It's just
it's more the organizing the people all on the same day.
It's just everybody's showing up at the same time.
Everybody has to be there.
But I mean, it's Front Desk is really rewarding to like see the progression, I guess.
Yeah.
Because from the beginning versus now, like now we have like a flow. Like we talked about this already, but like as soon as the cameras go on, everybody kind of knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Like okay, this guy's watching the camera. These guys are acting. We're gonna set up the H4. Everybody there's a flow. There's like a set program kind of thing that we're just running, and we all like understand how it works. So that's actually really cool to watch. Like the organization of it. Like everybody knows how it works. Yeah, I don't know. It's really cool. So, and especially like when we bring new people in, like it makes that foundation better. We talked about this back in the first vlog.
Yeah.
But it makes that foundation better for when new people come in, because the 4 of us or 5 of us, Sadi included, we all know how this works.
Yeah.
So then when more people come, we just kind of plug them in.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when Jen came in, we just like, okay, all you need to do is this, and we'll handle everything else kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just makes people feel more comfortable when they're there,
as opposed to like just 6 people like not knowing, like okay, we do this, and what if we tried this, and then like we know what works and what doesn't a little bit more now. So I think that's I don't know, I'm excited to see how the rest of this goes. I mean, we'll see how many seasons we have in us, but I also think it's good skills to build for if we wanted to ever make another show too, right? Is we kind of have
or if you want to make a movie, which is
so we talked about that. Like I was saying, I would like to eventually make some sort of, I don't know if it'd be, I imagine it'd be longer form, and it would be kind of like Tree of Life-ish sort of to me, where it'd be more serious and like, I don't know, a lot of cinematography involved, and a lot left to the audience to kind of pick apart what I'm trying to tell you through the camera angles and what's happening in it. But I have no like concrete ideas yet, just some themes that I want. But that's kind of something that I'm interested in. But yeah. Anything else? I don't know. How do you guys feel about where we're? How do you guys feel about where we're going? With everything. Are we still trying?
I feel good. Sorry. Wait, what were you about to say?
Well, I mean, like back, like, we should probably talk about always, like, resetting the North Star, right? Like, what is the end goal, which is, it's gonna be different for everyone.
Yeah, no, him fighting the tank. The tank
Fist,
was
Fist of the North Star.
Yeah.
I
want to play that game.
It's an anime, but
I want to play the anime.
That's what I said.
But I mean, this is why I always ask you guys, like, what your, like, life goal is, because it's not just about, like, making videos, obviously, right? Like, I have more in my life going on than just making videos. This is like a passion or a hobby or whatever of mine that's really important to me. But there's other things going on in my life too. I go to training, I want to stay in shape, and then I like playing video games.
Sorry, he just keeps doing it.
Zach's making fun of my hand gestures. You guys are wondering why I'm having trouble talking sometimes.
Yeah.
But so, like, right now, my immediate thing that I'm trying to take care of,
Yeah.
is me moving out, and basically just me moving out and having enough money to support myself first. That's the number one thing, and then after that, then I'd focus on videos, and then all the other stuff comes after that. It's just because I don't. It's not that I don't like living at home and blah blah blah, but it just feels like at this point in my life, like, I want to move out.
Yeah.
Like, that's just something that's important to me.
Yeah.
It could be arbitrary. Maybe I'll change my mind later and decide I want to move back. But just for me to have my own personal, like, individual, like, I don't know, be able to support myself and be on my own, that's actually really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't plan to, like, hopefully I don't get in that, like, because it's like we were talking about the buddy, where we're like, oh yeah, 30K, oh 40K, oh 50K. Like, I don't know if I want to get, like, hopefully I don't get caught in that race. Like, if somebody, you know what I mean? Like, how this right now, this job that they offer me is kind of interesting, but it's like, what if somebody was like, well,
I
pay you, like,
more.
Yeah, I'll pay you more, and I'm like, oh, no, and then, you know.
But it's like you're going to have to work another 3 hours on top of what you're doing.
You know.
And you're like, okay, well, let's stop it. And then you
And
go
now
to the
you're
next
responsible
10K, and then,
for this team, you're a manager now.
And then you're at like 80 or 90. It's like, well, like, you're going to have to work from home sometimes too. It's like, well, that's like all my day though.
But like 10
but it's
more
90K
K,
though.
right? Like, it's,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I ideally don't see me going down that path. I would like to live, like, minimally, so I can have all this time to build guys making videos and whatever else I want to do for myself. But that was the line of where I wanted to make at least that. But beyond that, I don't think I need anything more than that. Like, I shouldn't be spending on other things, I guess. Like, you're really fucking me up with that.
Because he doesn't. Now he's smiling, but like when he does it, otherwise he's just like gets me every time.
I think we'll do well.
But yeah, no, I mean, just for like the sake of
no.
the podcast, like, what are you guys focused on in your life right now too? Like, again, I mean, maybe I'm not asking for, like, when I say North Star and end goal and stuff like that, I don't mean it to be like something super far in the future even, or whatever. It just could be like, what are you focused on at this given moment, even, like, maybe even this week or whatever. But as far as you can possibly see, hopefully. But if you can't see that far, it doesn't even matter. Like me, I can't even see that far, right? I'm just like, oh, I just want to move out. That's as far as I can see is my first step right now. You guys want to share?
I think my thing is just, mine's like the immediate future, which is like this past week. And I know the reason why is because I got fucking drunk on Saturday, and like Sunday was a wash. Monday it didn't need to be, but like I let it be, and like my inhibitions go down of like, oh well, fuck it kind of thing, and that kind of turned into this whole week. But starting from tomorrow, which is like everybody's like, starting tomorrow, I'll do it. But like this time, actually starting tomorrow, like I'm gonna actually get back in gear, because I was going pretty well there until this past Saturday.
Until your birthday.
Yeah, until I was pretty consistent on all
Everybody
the things.
deserves a little.
On all the things I wanted to be doing, like I was getting those posts done when I wanted to get them done, kind of thing. I was like working out consistently, and like whenever we were filming or whatever, I'd come out to pretty much the weekend days, right? But that fell off this week, and I'm 100% positive it's because of that day. But I was okay with it. Like, I don't want to beat myself up about it, because if I do, it's just gonna get worse. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give myself, like this happened on Wednesday, where I'm like, I'm gonna give myself like 3 more days of this, and then on Sunday you're gonna flip back into what you were doing before, which is like being consistent with everything. And then I think the vlogs too, with like us editing and like splitting it up, I think the schedule kind of threw me off a little bit. Like I liked the week to week, and then doing the 2 weeks at a time was okay. And then we got this one, which is really big, and which is what I was asking you today. It's like
it's been like it's gonna be 3 weeks before you have to do.
something. Right. So it's like I think it's been like a month or something, and I haven't edited one because you did the one before PAX, and then you're doing the PAX one. The PAX one is stretched out.
Yeah.
It's so big.
Yeah.
Right. And like mine, I don't like in my mind. I'm like, oh, I don't need to do it until. Because it's after PAX, like once the PAX ones are done, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is what I was going to mention today. It's like, do you want to, and we can talk about it after, but like, do you want to finish the PAX ones and then I'll do a bunch in a row?
Oh.
Right?
I think it'd probably just be better if you do PAX Part 2 than I do PAX Part 3. That way we
and then that way we're back on the week-to-week thing.
Yeah, like every second week.
Yeah, because for that little bit that we were doing it, where it was week-to-week, like, that felt pretty good to me. Because I was like, I'd do it 1 week and like have most of it set up, and then the night before it's supposed to go, I like just put the finishing touches of like the pictures and stuff on it, and it's gone, and then I'm good for like a week, kind of thing, and then I start it again. And so then now, like with not doing that, I have to start it again to get myself back in gear again. And if I don't start, then it's just gonna keep getting worse. Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to like, you don't have to have an answer now, I guess, but what is the motivation for all of it in the first place, right? So like so for example, this is what I'm thinking is if part of your life is to have some time to like go party, and part of it is to make videos, and part of it is to work and make enough money to pay off your mortgage and stuff like that, if those are all of the things, then you are in no way doing anything wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no, it's not like you're beating yourself up or not. It's just, no, that was the goal in the first place,
but
was to have time to, you know.
It's turned into, like, since I came on this exact podcast and I said I'm going to make this more of a job, it's turned into more of like an expectation for myself. And when I'm not fulfilling my expectations, I feel bad, and I don't want to feel bad.
Right,
so,
but there has to be a reason why there's those expectations, right? Like, for example, like, I mean, this is an obscure example, but it doesn't make sense for me to expect myself to shoot 10 free throws every day, because what is my goal isn't to, you know, I have no ambition in that direction.
Yeah.
So what is the ambition with this? Because the goal for like shooting 10 free throws would
that's
be
always
like,
been like the very far one, which has always been the same, which is like I don't want to do my current job. I would rather do this than my current job.
Okay.
And I want this to be the thing that I do in life rather than what I currently do in life. In order to do that, like I still have to do what I'm doing right now to sustain everything, to let this get bigger, which is what I said at the beginning, like just change the lights in the middle.
I know, it's just literally like an hour in.
It got really dark.
But yeah, no, yeah. You were saying you want to transition.
Yeah, and that's what it's been since the the moment we started. All of this is like, I want this to be the thing that I do rather than the current thing that I do. Not that it's bad.
Well, because this is building something for yourself that's based on just you being yourself.
There's more freedom involved in this.
Because it's just being you. And that's why, like I said, the just documenting is even better, because it's like, well, maybe today you just want to be lazy. Then you can be lazy and people will love to see that. Like maybe they'll just be like, oh, Sim wants to play Twitch or play on Twitch and play League or whatever today or something like that. Like that's totally fine. They'd be like, oh yeah, then you would have that fan base that likes you playing League of Legends, right?
But if you're looking for a thing, that's my thing. Yeah. My thing.
Yeah. So that's okay. Yeah. I'm glad. Yeah. I think that's for me as well.
Sorry, what was the question?
I just
need it rephrased.
So the thing is, what is your most immediate goal, I guess, but also like what is the motivation behind that, right? Because you could just be like my most immediate goal might just be like, oh, I want to get in shape. Mm-hmm. But if that, like, why though? Like, is that just it? You just want to get in shape, that's it? That's something you want to tick off your bucket list, is just be in shape for a little while, right? Or is there something more, like, I want to be in shape so I can run a marathon? Or, be more attractive or something, right? Like,
okay. Immediate goal.
Just in your life, not even, like, within the context.
We've already talked about how I'm trying to pay off the rest of my student loan. That's pretty close. So a lot of it, a lot of my work life has just been motivated by trying to save more money and stuff so that I can move out like you guys are, or you got a mortgage thing going on here. Anyways, but in my like creative life,
Well, the reason why you would want to do any of this stuff in the first place is like where are all these steps leading to too, right? So after you pay off your student loans,
yeah,
wherever, then the next thing would be to move out or something,
Yeah.
right? And then you want to move out, and then what's the next thing? And then, but all of these steps are eventually, hopefully, going towards something too, right? I mean, there's also like just things that you want that are separate too, right? Like me,
Yeah.
like playing video games, training, and making videos are all kind of separate things.
Yeah.
But they're all things that I want, right?
yeah. There's just so many things at once. Trying to think, cause like I recently for my, cause like okay, my practical stuff, working a job, trying to save money, pay off crap, whatever. That's like the immediate like I need to do that first before I can do any next steps.
Mm-hmm.
I recently made my own Instagram to get back on the horse and just
Zackerman art.
yeah, check it out. I'm just trying to. I've been like really grinding out art. That's not even just for myself. Like just for other things. Like I'm just building a portfolio. I'm like I realize, hey, I see all these other artists. And I'm like my skills aren't there yet. Like I might be decent. I mean, like some people might think my art's good, but I think like I need to be at the next level. I need to start doing tutorials again. I need to start paying attention to like learning again as much. Like I kind of got into a lull where I was just very comfortable with my art, and there's only so much time in your life, but I was like, I'm not putting in enough time to just get better. So I've been doing art like crazy. I asked you last night or a couple nights ago, or
You've been asking us.
I've been asking like what art do we need for this stuff, like even just for advertising. So because I'm just ready, I'm just gonna get it done. I'm a big fan of Mega 64. They're kind of a similar group.
Guys making videos.
Yeah, they're a group of guys and a girl now. They all make a bunch of videos, gaming related, all that shit. But I made some artwork for one of their streams, and I put like my Instagram on it. And they actually used it for the show, so that was really cool. And I got to talk to them a bit through like back and forth on Twitter and stuff. So it's just like I'm
You got to meet him at
I'm
PAX.
trying to get I met him at PAX. I'm just trying to get more like comfortable like putting myself out there more and thinking of more like ways to like interact. I notice like I'm very like I have no problem going to a group of people and talking, but if I have to go in like a chat room, like a Discord room, like or like you know what I mean, like
What are you doing in chat rooms?
nothing. Like what do you mean? Like if I had to talk to people I don't know like online in a game, like that's when I get kind of scared. Like I don't like that.
Really?
Because I don't like I can't see them. I don't like that I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know anything about them.
Okay.
I don't even know their real name. Most times like Blue Waffle. That was a bad example. You know what I mean? I don't know what that scares me. Now I'm going tangents.
Hey, I got a. Have you heard of sweater puppies? You guys know what sweater puppies are?
Oh yeah.
Do
They're
I
not
want-
puppies in sweaters.
Oh, let me tell
No.
you. But yeah,
Google
so
sweater puppies.
like end goal, I'm always looking at the big goal, and then I've gotten better at making like the week to week goals though for myself. Like okay, in order to get further in what I want to do, which is I want to be self sufficient, ideally, in either videos or like art, all that stuff that's related. I want it to be like I would like this to eventually be able to take us somewhere, and this kind of ties into all my other goals. So like guys making videos is a good project, and but I also want to make comics. So like week to week, I'm like, okay, I have to get this much done to like be. Because last time I took years to make a comic. Now I'm trying to be fast. Like I'm on my third or fourth page now, and it took me however many years to get 15 pages done. Because I was learning in the process of writing. Still, I was doing this shit to get me to the point to be able to do it. Now I have all those skills. I'm just trying to be fast, and I'm trying to be sufficient, and I'm just trying to have better quality stuff. But I'm like busting my ass to like stay up late every night and do it, and like find the time to do it. So now I'm like being more realistic with my time.
I'm not sure if this is like the most, if this is the time to ask it, but I mean it doesn't hurt. But I think it's useful to think about how much you need money wise. Like, what's the bare minimum that you would need in order to let you do all the things you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. And that works in two ways. Like, one is like, okay, there's your job that has nothing to do with your whatever you want to do, your passion, the videos and stuff that we make.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying is like, I could live on $2,000 a month easy, right? That's kind of where I want my minimum to be, I guess. And then the second thing is like that's where that transition point is with the video stuff, right? But I think this isn't the question for now, but not that I worry, but I think about when and if we first start to see a little bit of like sponsorship offers and money come in or whatever, it's like, how much do we want to cash in? Because it's like, what is our end goal, right? Like, do we want to win the whole thing and go as far as we possibly can? Because I don't think we're there. I don't think our ambitions are that big. Like, even I don't want to be like the biggest something.
Yeah.
Right. I'm okay with like a modest,
like a niche.
Yeah, like a niche, like Funhouse kind of, or even like less than Funhouse or whatever, like Mega 64 or something too is good. Like that type of following that gives us enough, right? Which I don't really know what their wallets look like or whatever. I don't know how much
they make decent livings now, but like they're not the biggest thing out there, like. So
I think but also like we don't want to be too, like jump at the first offer.
Yeah.
Because like then then that would be maybe like a couple $100 every month, but that's not a full transition yet. So like that might not be an offer that we'd want to take, right?
Because
so I think just being conscious of that, like where is the point of where we're like, okay, let's cash in now because this is what we want. You know what I mean? Because it's like the longer, like the bigger your ambition is, the longer you have to wait to cash in, because it's like it doesn't make sense to cut these little deals. It's like the Social Network movie.
Yeah.
Do you want to cut the deals with all these little fish?
No, you wait till
or do you
$1
wait
billion.
Yeah, or do you wait for the big fish?
Ain't $1 billion.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but it's basically that, right? So, but I don't think our ambition is like the biggest fish, but it's also shouldn't be like a bunch of these little things that's like a couple like $500, $600 like a month kind of extra. Like that would also be nice, right?
It also depends what you mean by like cashing in. Like, does it just mean we start making merchandise finally? Does it mean we're taking sponsorships? Does it mean like we're signing ourselves to somebody?
To me, when he talks about it, it's like, when are we
deciding to make money?
Like, when are we letting people sponsor us in a way that might change what we do?
It's anything that takes away from like what we want to do for ourselves.
I think
as soon as we have an influence besides ourselves,
I think it should never be. Obviously, like the sponsors are gonna want certain things, but I don't think it should ever like change how we.
But then you won't get sponsors.
Because
it's that.
It's that, and then there's also, when are we going in for the ask?
For sure.
Basically, like I think that's more important than what we were talking about. Like there's that, like changing and whatever. And I think that sometimes like it's like sometimes we'll have to do, for example, let's say Seeing Double gets really big. Sometimes we'll have to play a game that like we don't even know if it's getting good or not or whatever. Like that's not as big. That's
fine, but the core of the show's not changed. We're probably still gonna make stupid jokes and like play the game.
Sometimes we'll have to drink an alcohol that we don't want to drink.
Sponsored by Mr. Belvedere.
I mean, we do that normally. No, it's just like, okay, I keep wanting to make a 64. It's just the niche example, but like they do ads, but like if the ad ever offended one of them or like the people cut them off, it's like, okay, move on. We're gonna get more ads, and they did get more ads, or like they had podcast advertisers for.
I think it's as long as you're like true to the thing that you want.
Exactly,
to do, you know what I mean?
Like they're still a friend. Like they got advertisers for their podcast for a bit, and then their podcast went in a lull. They lost it, and like, we don't fucking care. We'll get a new one. Like they do, and then, or they joked around like with the advertisers almost making fun of them, but not, and they still had the advertisers at the end because people going into it knew how they were. You know,
I think more importantly though, like not even
I think
about.
Should change the format.
Yeah, like I mean, it just like as long as you're true to your shit, right? Like we're not gonna suddenly start making Tide Pod videos, is what we're talking about. Right? But I think more important than that, like just like put that on, because I don't think that's that important, to be honest. Because I think we all have a pretty good awareness of like, let's not do this because we don't want to, even though it'll get us a lot of money. I think we're okay with that, right? Unless we suddenly are just like, oh, this guy's offering us how much. If they're offering us a lot of money, but we don't want to do it. I think we're pretty good at that for now. I mean, we don't know until they start offering. More importantly, though, I think it's like, when are you going in for that ask? Like, when are we gonna ask? So it's like, for example, do we want to like make a couple T-shirts, make like 5 to 10 T-shirts and sell them ourselves? Or are we looking for like a brand deal? Like I'm not saying that's what we want to, but that's the comparison, right?
I
It's
just
like,
figured we'd always be fairly independent. Like,
no, but I mean collaborations are like let's say
Yeah,
let's just say like
does Rooster
Nike.
Teeth have a Nike shirt?
No, but that's what I'm saying is like, what if they offered like we would have full creative control over it,
Yeah.
But they sell our shirts in their
but they
store.
sell. Do you know what I mean? Like some. I'm not saying
It
that's
doesn't
what we
matter
want,
what the
but
deal is, I guess, as long as they don't own us in any way. And
no, it would like that's what I mean. Is like,
Yeah.
what are we going? What is
you're saying at what point are we
so
like,
so
considering that?
so? Just give me a sec. So like
Okay.
if we were big enough,
yeah.
right? And this is far extreme, which I don't think we want to get that big or whatever, right? But if we were big enough, let's say hypothetically, as Nike, we're as big as Nike,
Mm-hmm.
then they can't be like we own you or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be a partnership type thing,
Yeah.
right? But other than that, like we probably, if it wasn't like, because we're very high on our we want to do what we want to do thing, so the chances of that happening are very slim. So like we'd probably end up making like little T-shirts ourselves,
Yeah.
right? But that's a different, like we're not cashing in as hard or whatever. Like that's just a different goal. Like that's not as, you know what I mean? It's like, how big do we want to be? Like what is, you know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, where for example,
I don't know, like you're
Gary
saying,
Vee wants to like win the whole thing. He wants to buy the Jets.
Yeah.
So he's playing like a very long game. I guess that's kind of what I'm getting
But he
at. Too,
says
is, like,
he's joking about that, even though like.
no, I know, but that's the strategy of what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Like he loves playing the game, right? But the strategy of where he's directing his efforts is to something, amassing a lot of money
Yeah.
to buy the Jets, right? But
Okay.
that's the strategy, right? But what if our strategy has to be appropriate to where we want to go? Like if we want to be just like Funhouse, kind of that level, then our like we're going to be acting differently than if we want to be like a Nike.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I'm
We're gonna be
saying?
more corporate shills if we're trying to be like.
Okay, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the base. I think what I'm talking about is how big of a brand maybe. Maybe that might be what I mean, right? Like how much,
Yes.
how many like people like or like how
You're
big
saying
of a
what
following. or
degree of
whatever.
popularity do we want to aim for? Like.
Not kind of, but not even really. It's kind of like when are we cashing in kind of thing. Like if I wanted an extra $5-10 a month,
Yeah.
then we cash in on the first sponsorship. I don't even care what it is. Extra $10 a month. We won there. If that was the goal,
Yeah.
then the first sponsorship that came, I'd be like, we won, yay! It's extra $10 a month,
Yeah.
right?
I think as long as we can, like, once we have a following that is like a community, I would say, once we have something that's clearly like, oh, there's people that like care about us and they form their own community, and at that point I would say, okay, they're probably willing to buy a T-shirt then, and we just start from there and slowly build up. Like I know what you're saying. You're worried about the branding.
It's not. I guess it's not
No
so much
way,
about
like-
the. It's not. It's all of it, right?
I just-
It's
I
not
don't-
just the branding. It's kind of
I don't
like
know.
so right there with the
Um,
community thing. It's almost like you could say we almost have a community right now with like 5 or 10 people.
Okay, well if you want to quantify
Right.
it, then we can quantify it. But
I'm
it's
not
like-
talking about the quantifying. I'm just.
Well, it's
I'm
not
just
talking
saying-
like I'm not understanding or like disregarding what you're trying to say. Like,
No. I just think you're misunderstanding what I'm going
okay,
for, right?
then
Like,
articulated the most simplest term right now for me.
every time
You talk about branding and level. I'm not. You've been cutting me off. Sorry, I'm not. I'm just trying to articulate my point, and then you can tell me. Sorry, go.
it's just kind of like what is it's the same question. It's like what is the goal here, right? Are we trying to make an extra like 10, like that's one way of making sense of the goal. It might not be maybe like are we,
Okay.
like it could be money, it could be followers, it could be how many videos we make. Like what are the KPIs? Like what are the key performance indicators? Like what counts as like us succeeding? Is it we make 100 videos a month? Is it we have 100 followers every whatever? Is it
Yeah.
we make an extra $200? Is it I don't know.
You're so
Right.
you're asking how we want to like quantify like or like how we want to like
What counts as us
us.
moving forward?
Okay, well for me it would be community. I think that's first in terms of trying to build a brand. And you're saying okay, what constitutes a community? In terms of I guess engagement, I would see like people going out on their own to like or like we start to get fan art maybe we start to get like people making threads and Reddits and shit like that. Once we start seeing like people going out of their way and putting in action to like get involved with us, that's when I would start to say like, okay, we're building a community.
So
Right
when-
now we get 2 people commenting. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so like when we're doing that, let's say this is what happened with Funhouse. Just their example is
Yeah.
they were inside gaming, and then Rooster Teeth came to them like after they left
Yeah.
cinema. They're like, we'll buy you guys out.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
hire you guys as employees,
Yeah.
and so they were hired as employees,
hmm
and their community got huge.
Yeah.
'Cause they got the Rooster
That's
Teeth
a
side.
sudden change
right?
for
But-
them, yes.
So like, is that something we would want to do? Is kind of I
Well,
think
that's
what
really up
you're
to-
coming at it from. Like if we get to that
Yeah.
point where it's like somebody else comes to you and says, you know
Yeah.
what, we'll fund you guys essentially,
hmm
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you can have all like look at all the reach that we have added
Yeah,
on to
you
the
can
reach
have
that
that.
you already have.
Yeah.
But
That's a very unique example
Yeah.
for sure too.
and then
but
like they're lucky in the
are
sense they
they-
still get to do what they want and they're working with like-minded people.
yeah.
But if we don't get the opportunity to work with those kinds of people when they come to us with that deal,
Yeah.
are we going to take it?
No, for sure.
And it's dependent obviously on what the
yeah.
like little like
So,
um,
so that's what I mean, though, is like
Yeah.
the reason why we'd make that decision, like how we would decide to make that decision. I'm not saying we have to make that decision now,
hmm
and we'll make that decision as we'll figure it out as it comes. But I don't think I think it's useful to think about it so that when, like, let's say our thing was to get the most followers or whatever, like that's one of our KPIs.
like our most reach that
or
we
whatever,
can possibly
right?
get.
Then the Rooster Teeth deal would be a good idea because we're like, that's what we want. This
Yeah.
brings us closer
Okay.
to there.
Well,
And it's not
personally my like
Yeah.
aspect of that is like, did their rights get bought out? Because that's my one thing I've always like. If we're doing something
Okay.
independent, I would like to retain rights.
I think there's just so many there's so many variables in
there
the things
is.
that we're talking
and it's
about.
also a very broad question.
And like we can talk about it now, but it's always going to come down to when we get to that situation
sure,
and we
yeah.
see all the things in front of us. We're going to have to decide then.
because like that sounds
It's
great.
like we can kind of have an idea of what we
Mhm.
want to do now,
Because for them,
but
yeah.
it always changes when you see it in front of
Exactly,
you.
yeah,
Like
for
you're
sure.
like,
But I'm not.
oh,
I'm
fuck.
not. So that's the thing is like I'm not actually asking about like I know that's kind of what it turns into,
Yeah.
but I'm not asking about like, hey, if Rooster Teeth came to us to do, what would we do? Like I'm not
Yeah.
asking that.
Yeah.
I'm asking what is this, right? So
Yeah.
when any of these things that I bring up, followers, Rooster Teeth, all these questions that I'm asking,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
What is this though? So that we know navigating backwards when these things happen, are we like if we don't have this, we're like all these things happen, we're like yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
no, yes, no, I don't know, because we don't know what the fuck where we're going,
yeah,
right?
Okay,
So I
well,
guess that's where I'm.
That, for me personally, would be us being all able to be self-sufficient. We don't have to work another job. We have like a couple shirts or something, or we have at least one new piece of merch every month.
yeah,
We have a set schedule. We're putting out all the shows we want to put out, and we have enough money going back into it that can buy us more resources to. Or we can set budgets for videos now. We
Yeah.
can buy more equipment, and we are having a consistent following of however many people we want at the time. I don't care. Like you said, we're not worried about the variables so much. That's my end goal. Like just being able to still show up every day. Hey, we do Monday to Friday. These are our set days for what we're doing.
yeah.
We have a new video coming out. We're going to do a budget for it. We have this much money to do this video. We got to get it done by this point. People enjoy at least
Like,
one to
just
two videos a week.
consistency and everything.
Yes, consistency,
Yeah.
sufficiency.
Yeah.
I don't know, because we're bringing up variables, and you're saying like, oh, this isn't what you're asking. But if it's just the end goal and it's a broad thing like that, then that's my ideal personally.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's also like thinking about what I mean, like even I don't have the answer for this right now too, but one of those things, right, is like that self-sufficient thing
Yeah.
is like what is even
Then you
What number
accepting
is it?
that.
right?
Is that
because
yeah?
Okay,
Because-
well,
so
at least
because-
2 to
because-
3K for me at the moment.
Yeah.
A month. That
How
if we're
much,
gonna,
sorry?
Yeah.
If I want to quantify it, at least 2 to 3K a month right now would allow me to live like as a single bachelor guy. Like,
Yeah.
well, not single, sorry. I have a girlfriend.
But like,
Whoa.
like
No, it's like,
girlfriend,
you know, by
bachelor
myself,
life, you know?
like-
not a family.
like
yeah.
by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like supporting just yourself.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Um,
yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah, I don't know. If
Yeah.
I had to quantify it at the current
'Cause-
time,
Yeah, mine's probably more. But
yeah.
Well, but
you have
you
more
have
on
more-
your plate
Yeah.
at the moment.
yeah. So I mean, for you, so like for example, for you, right? Like this might not be the main thing
Like,
for a long time,
viable,
then,
Yep.
yeah.
because your aim would be a lot higher if you wanted to fully sustain all of your things,
Mhm.
right? Whereas for me and Zach, the goal of like at least in the monetary sense
Yeah, yeah.
would be a lot less, just because we
Less-
don't need as
less
much, right?
Bills and
Like,
stuff. You know?
Well, you have to pay. I feel
No,
like you just
I'm-
have more.
I hear stuff and I want to make sure. I
Okay.
announce.
Oh yeah. No, I just just you have more bills than we do.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Mhm.
So like just like just recognizing those things. I think because I think the problem is like we all say those words.
Yeah.
I want this to be self-sustaining, but it's also just it's different for everybody. Like right
no,
there.
it is.
Right. Like
yeah. That's why I'm saying for my personal self. Like,
yeah. That's
two
what I
to
was looking
three.
for. Right.
Yeah. I can't speak.
I'm
for
sorry.
everybody.
This has been the
It's
best.
okay.
You felt like
oh, no, this has
I
been
was
the best
attacking you or
reflections
whatever.
podcast.
No.
Like,
Huh?
this is the best reflections podcast ever.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's like
It's
you guys
real.
you guys kind of went at it, and it's like it's content.
Well, no, I
It's
just
good
I
stuff
didn't
like that.
mean.
I just didn't quite.
I
grasp
couldn't turn my eyes.
It was
away.
hard.
Because
If I
we
didn't
kept
know how to-
talking about the little things, and then you're trying to get to the big thing, and then when I hear about the little thing, I want to talk about the little thing all of a sudden. Like that aspect, like just merch. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, you bring that up, and then it's like, okay, I want to talk about that. But I know you're trying to get to this point.
Yeah.
It's
It's hard though. It's hard for me to articulate.
We
it,
talked
too,
about
like,
so many different points
Yeah.
in getting to
But it's
that
also
point
hard to-
that I was like, I don't know what you're asking me
It's
now.
hard to
and I
articulate
felt
because
like-
we've never done it before.
Yeah.
Like we've never.
But this is what I was
experienced-
trying.
Yeah, and
This is
so
what I've
you're
been trying to do every podcast
Yeah.
though. Like
Yeah.
this
Yes.
was what I've been trying to do every podcast.
Thanks.
But and we have good talks and stuff on the
Yeah.
other ones, but we've never reached as specific as this.
Yeah.
I feel, which I think is good.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? It's
Well,
just
we
like, I'm not
haven't
saying
had-
we need to make like again. I don't
At
think
first I didn't like.
We
like
haven't
I-
had any commercial breaks, so I mean,
we haven't had any
Yeah.
personal break.
Sure.
But again, like you're right. I don't think that we need to make those decisions hard and fast now.
Yeah.
But it's good to like know what that is, so that when we have
No,
to
I
deal with
get
all
it,
these
yeah.
things, you know what I mean? Then we can be like, oh yeah, this brings us closer to that.
yeah. But I know you also get that when we get there, like, it's not gonna be exactly
It's
what
not,
we're talking
yeah.
about here. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
there's
not
gonna be
like-
so many things that are involved.
Like
at that
like it
point.
might Zach like might have a kid or something.
Yeah.
And then it's different,
Yeah.
right?
Or
Like
even
just
like we all feel this way now, but we
Yeah.
get there and like some of us don't feel that way anymore. Like
Yeah.
it's been
Things
so
change.
long
Yeah,
that
yeah.
things have
Exactly.
changed so much that we're not the same.
and then
like,
and then
mindset.
people will call us out about you sellouts.
Yeah.
Remember podcast number 9,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
fucking said that shit.
And then we'll make a video about us crying on YouTube saying
Yes.
sorry to
sorry. And then we'll have the most. That'll be the
highest watch
loophole.
video, yeah.
Yeah, that's how we'll
we
get
want
it.
to stay fresh, much like the cool taste of Colgate on your teeth at night.
I thought you were gonna say Subway. No, it's eFresh.
Yeah.
Which we also are Subway
Yeah.
eFresh.
Yeah, much like the sandwich that you can make by telling them what ingredients you like at your local Subway. See,
Wow.
we didn't sell out. We've always been this way. No,
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was mostly that was the biggest thing this actually, like I said, this is what I've been reaching for
Yeah.
every
yeah,
Reflections podcast. Not saying that we didn't hit deep levels on the other podcasts, but this is what I was trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But yeah,
Well, I want to thank both of you for being guests on my podcast today.
Yeah.
Zach, Curtis, you have Shanks, Law, Annie, and Luffy up there in the background. Our
Yeah.
audience today.
Yeah.
Very quiet, but
What-
they were there.
What gauge is he? What is he? What form is that?
Gear fourth
Gear
fourth
four,
gear.
Gear 4.
Force.
Gear fourth gear.
Fourth gear.
How many gears is he at now?
I
He's
bet
at
it's,
four. That's his highest.
Oh.
it's been like 2 hours.
Is it?
It's
like an hour.
oh really?
No,
That-
it's been more than an hour.
It's an hour 10.
Okay, well, thanks.
Bye.
Make sure you reflect yourself someday. Bye.
Reflect yourself before you.
Check yourself before you reflect
Reflect
yourself.
yourself.